Hey guys, so this is going to be like my first official video for my YouTube, besides the introductory one, but something I'm really passionate about, as I'm sure you can tell if you do follow me on Instagram, is breastfeeding. And it did not always come easy, so I don't want anybody to get that idea, because it was hard work. It still is. It's not easy. Now it's so much better, but I would say nobody really prepares you for breastfeeding and prepares you for the challenges that you'll face, prepares you for bleeding, scabbed nipples. I mean, sorry for the TMI, but it happens. And from what I hear and who I've talked to, it happens to almost everybody. So nobody prepared me for that. And I feel like as medical professionals, like our OBs, I think it should start there. And I think there should be a little more education. But before I get into that, that's a separate video. I just wanted you guys to know that it has not always come easy to me. The first, I would say 2 weeks were the hardest. Once you get over the 2 weeks, it gets so much better from there. And I think it's really a shame, because I think a lot of women give up before that 2 weeks because it seems like it's nearly impossible. I was there, I know, so I'm speaking from experience. But, you know, now they have really great resources available. So they have lactation consultants, they have nurse that they will send to your house, just really great. So I really, really highly suggest to use those resources if you haven't already. And I have them to thank, because I was this close to giving up. I felt almost like I had baby blues or postpartum depression, because it hurt so bad when she would latch on. You know, it just was not a good experience. And I just thought to myself, how can I go months like this? Or how can I go, you know, a year even? So, yeah, after I got past that 2 weeks, it got so much better. But it was really a dark, sad feeling that I felt, because I felt like I was failing my daughter, which I wasn't, and fed is best. So, you know, formula is just as good as long as the baby is happy and growing and healthy. That's what matters. So after that 2 weeks, you know, I have faced challenges. I didn't know that when pumping that the flange sizes, you know, made a difference. Nobody told me that. So for a while I was using the wrong size, and it was hurting every time I was pumping even. So I was like, you know, how am I gonna go like this? How am I gonna go like this in life and just, you know, get over this? It seemed nearly impossible. So after that, I got a lot of help with the right, you know, products. I had nipple cream, there's nipple shields that help. There's just so many things out there that I had no idea about. So of course I had to do some research. I reached out to some other moms, but all in all, it was not an easy, you know, thing. So what I get asked a lot with breastfeeding is, you know, how do I have so much milk? How do I pump that much milk? And I've been on this schedule probably since she was 2 weeks old. So my schedule is, I wake up probably around 7 or 8, whether it's with the baby or before the baby. Usually my husband is home, but he does travel a lot. So now I wake up, first thing I do is pump. And in that pumping session, my body gets about maybe 10 to 11 ounces, 11 on a good day. But just that one pump is enough for 2 bottles. So it allows me to start storing milk, and then I have that kept in the refrigerator, and then I cycle it out. So I pump once in the morning only, and then once at night. So I pump, probably at night I only pump usually 2 to 4 ounces, but that's almost another whole feeding. So that allows me, if I keep on that, I mean, that's the strict schedule I have to be on, just those 2. If your milk does fluctuate, or if you see a drop in your milk, you can do what is called power pumping, which is pumping, I believe, if after each feeding, to try to encourage more milk to come in. I don't have that problem, so I've never done that. But that's an option. If you are having that problem, I would encourage to look into that. So I only pump those 2 times a day, and then I on-demand feed, and she seems to get enough. So that is, you know, that's perfect for me and that schedule. So if you feel like you're not getting enough milk pumping, I would just suggest keeping with it and trying to pump as often as you can, because pumping mimics the baby eating, which will then trigger your body to produce more milk. So that's another option. For me, staying on top of my supplements is a huge one. So I take Mother's Love Milk Plus. I take a fenugreek, and then I take my prenatal, and that's really important to keep on your prenatal postpartum as well. So those things. I also drink a ton of water. I get my essential waters delivered to me from Amazon. It's a lifesaver. I probably drink at least 3 to 4 of those a day, at least. And if you don't drink that much, your body will get thrown off and you won't produce as much. I guarantee you. So if you're not drinking enough water, that could be why you're not producing enough milk. So water, supplements, and also calorie intake is huge. I had no idea of that either, but it really matters. So I would say every time that you're feeding or pumping, you should be eating a meal or like a snack or something to keep your calorie intake up. Sorry, duty calls. So as I was saying, the question that I get asked a lot is, why do I pump? Since I am only breastfeeding, you know, she's only getting breast milk as of now, is because early on I wanted to have the option of having pumped breast milk so that other people could feed her. Or if I needed to run out somewhere, I just have that option. So that's, my pumping schedule has allowed me to start storing milk, which is amazing, in case, you know, eventually Eric and I want to go away for the weekend or something. It's there if I get sick, because if you get the flu or something like that, your milk supply tends to drop. So I've been implementing that same schedule since she was like 2 or 3 weeks old. And then on top of that, I have been giving her a bottle before bed of pumped milk, because she's been sleeping through the night since about 2 weeks old. I know that's not the norm, but I strongly believe that giving that bottle before bed, because when I pump, my last pump at night is only like 2 to 3 ounces. So how can I expect her to sleep through the night if she's only getting that 2 to 3 ounces before bed? So from early on, we've given her a bottle before bed of about 4 to 4.5 ounces of breast milk. And I think that that strongly has something to do with it, because her tummy's full. So she doesn't have the need to wake up and get more milk. So that's why I pump and give breast milk in the bottle at times. So she gets a bottle in the morning when she wakes up while I pump, and then she gets a bottle before bed. So I strongly believe that that will equal better sleep. And if you haven't tried that, give it a shot. I mean, what do you have to lose? So she's taking right now about 4.5 ounces to 5.5. So every baby's different, but that's a question I get a lot. And then let's see. Another question I get a lot of is, how do I build my storage? So between that pumping and then earlier on, I don't use it anymore, but the HAAKAA pump is a lifesaver. It's the silicone. I've posted it before on my Instagram, but I'll try to link it below. It is a silicone manual breast pump that you can attach to your opposite boob when you are feeding the baby. And the letdown and just the natural flow of milk stores, and then it's like free milk that you wouldn't have had if you wouldn't have used it before. So I highly recommend that for breastfeeding moms starting out, because that will definitely help you build your freezer stash. So that covers about the basics of kind of what I want to put out there. Those are kind of the most questions that I get asked on a daily basis. So I figured I wanted to put a video out there so that you guys could have it. I'll post it to my YouTube channel, and then you can reference it back. If you have any mom friends or pregnant friends that you think might benefit, please share it with them too, because I know if I would have had a video like this starting out, it might have been a little easier for me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Say bye, Eva.